It's really important that you are getting the most out of every single session, okay? Also, you understand why we're doing these things and why it's beneficial to you, because it's a lot of time and dedication that you're putting into this. And for me, there's nothing like doing something and not really knowing why you're doing it. What's the point? Okay, so I thought I'd do a video that's really going to get you to think a little bit more about the exercises that we're doing and how beneficial they're going to be for you, okay? And getting the most from them. So these are my training must-dos, okay? So first of all, number one, the why, okay? And like I said, knowing why you're doing something is really important to me, and it should be to you, okay? So knowing that if we're doing a deadlift or lowering a weight down to the ground, any variation like that, that it has massive implications to your posterior chain. What that means is it's going to have a massive benefit to your posture and your strength, and your physique is going to change if you have a very strong posterior chain. What I mean by posterior chain is anything from the hamstrings, the glutes, to your lower back, to your mid and upper back. If that's strong, you're going to hold yourself in a lot stronger position, and your physique will change straight away. So really knowing what all the different movements are doing for you, and if you don't, you need to ask and we can tell you why, okay? Number two, tension. We talk a lot about tension, and it's really, really important. You would hear me say a lot of times, I don't want you just moving from A to B. I don't want you just moving your body weight from A to B, or a weight from A to B. I want you to get tension onto that muscle that we're working. Now, some muscle groups may be more difficult than others to do that with, but it's really about stepping back and taking your time to really kind of contract a muscle and keep that tension within that muscle. All right, and like I say, you may need to go away in your own time and just try and practice that, and we can give you some little exercises that you're going to be able to do at home if you need to. All right, so number three is tempo, okay? And a big bugbear of mine is seeing people go through a movement and just trying to get through it as quickly as possible. Trying to get through the reps and the sets as quickly as possible so they can move on. You're not going to get the benefit from that movement if you're doing that, and it's a waste of time, okay? What you're looking at doing is keeping a muscle under tension for a period of time, so it's going to get stronger and it's going to change your shape. It's also going to help you burn a lot more body fat if you're keeping a muscle under tension for a longer period of time, okay? So with the tempo, you may see something like this: 4, 1, 1, 0. So what this does, it puts the tempo of that particular rep, okay? So 4, if we take a deadlift, for instance, a deadlift would be 4 seconds on the lowering phase. We'd have a 1 second pause at the bottom. We'd then have 1 second to come back up, and then no rest at the top. Okay, so 4 lowering, 1 at the bottom, 1 second on the coming back up, and then no rest at the top. Okay, so it's really important that you understand that, and this can differ from time to time to try and get different effect from the muscle and stimulant from the muscle. Number 4, full range. So what I mean by this is we need to think about taking a muscle from its lengthened position all the way through to its shortened position, okay? And again, maintaining this tension. All right, so there's no use doing half reps, okay? Yes, we might bring them in if we're trying to really fatigue a muscle and you can't do the full range, but initially we're looking at trying to really keep that full range. All right, so if we're squatting, we need to squat to our full range of a squat. So some people may be able to squat lower than others, and that's fine. All right, but looking to take that squat to its lowest position, under tension, and coming back to the top. If we take a pressing movement, a bench press, we're looking at taking the weight down as far as we can, keeping tension and taking it all the way through under tension, obviously without locking the elbows out. And again, all the way down and all the way through, okay? Reps and sets, now these will change, okay? So we have different ones. If we have reps of 5, we are working in a strength. We're trying to improve strength, okay? If we're looking at more 8 to 12, we're working in something called hypertrophy. So we're keeping the muscle under tension a lot more. We're trying to stimulate the muscle to progress and keep it under tension for a lot longer. So you'll see things like 5 reps, which is more strength based. And then when we start hitting anything from 8 to 12, we start moving into the realms of hypertrophy and start to get the muscle to actually make progress and change shape and improve. Now, with all these different things, particularly new people coming in, mobility may be an issue. We may need to work on that. So adapting, if needed, the movements and the exercise is really, really important. If you can't keep a muscle under tension, if you can't keep the tempo, if you can't do the full range of the movement, then we adapt the movement. There is no point in trying to carry on doing a movement knowing that these things aren't there and you're just not ready. You're going to get an injury and you're not going to get the most out of the training. Okay? So really those are the real 6 big things that I wanted to point out today to get the most out of your training. So the why, the tension, the tempo, full range of the movement, reps and sets, and being able to adapt a movement if needed, and then once we're ready we can come back to the main movement and do it from there. So I hope that's helped, guys, to get the most out of your training, and I look forward to seeing you all soon.